Well, joining us tonight is one man who can give us an insight into all that. It is with nothing but pleasure that we would like to welcome, do I say Prince? Prince Adewole Adeyinka, who is the Vice President of the Nigerian Chess Federation, to our game on tonight. Thank you so much for coming through tonight. It's an absolute pleasure to see you again.
Thank you very much. I'm actually happy to be here on the channel tonight. Thank you for having me.
Okay, well, let's start this way. Nigeria is well ranked, some would say, in global chess. Last time I checked, we're sixth in Africa, behind the likes of Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, South Africa, and even Zambia. But we're also 87th in the world. Now, when you consider that the multitude of countries in the world, it's not that bad. But can it and should it be better, given the amount of talent that we have in chess?
So, considering the population that we have, we shouldn't be where we have today. We should leverage on our population and actually have a higher position in Africa today. And that's the reason why we are doing we are putting a lot of efforts right now so that we can discover a lot of those talents. Just like you rightly mentioned, we have the young stars coming up as champions, playing with the elites in Nigeria and coming up as champion. If you have a 17-year-old young guy who started playing chess like 3 years ago, imagine as a champion, where you have people who've been playing chess for over 30 years competing. So which means if these people are exposed to the same chess for a number of times that the other people have been exposed to chess, they will have gone further. So we know that those grandmasters, women grandmasters that we are looking for, we are going to produce them in a very short while.
Okay, well, looking at the current rankings in Nigeria right now, well, in the men's ranking, there's Odion Aikoje. He's number one in Nigeria. He's 54 years old. There's Abdurrahman Rahim. He's 32 years old. And there's the Tersee Ferdinand Nyuima, who we talked about, who's 17 years old. He's the youngest in the top three in Nigeria. But in the women's sports, there's Torishebuwa Ofowino, who's 32, and Aisha Suleiman, who's 23, and Chiamaka Wankwo, who is 12 years old. Deborah Quickpen is also well ranked in top 10 Nigeria. In fact, she's number 7. Is this a deliberate policy of the Nigerian Chess Federation to, improve the age, the age profile of Nigeria's top chess players? And how exactly are you doing that?
Okay, so thank you very much. There is a global rating which actually is handled by FIDE. We are not the one that actually handle the rating. It's a global one. We call it FIDE rating. So every player that actually plays a game of chess in a rated tournament will be rated based on his performance. So, and what you have said now has shown that age has not the game of chess. Of course, it has a lot to do with it, because the earlier the better the starts and the better improved player they become within a short period. The rating bands is not masterminded by Nigeria Chess Federation in any way. If you go on www.fide.com and ask to produce the list of all Nigerian players, active and passive, you will see the list, and it has nothing to do with their age. Coincidentally, Odion happened to be the highest rated player now. Some years back, maybe just a year ago, Odion was actually not the highest rated player. And you mentioned the 17-year-old Tersee, who currently has found himself in the list of top 10 in Nigeria.
He's number 3 right now. As of this February, he's number 3.
Yes, as at the moment, he's number 3, because the rating changes every month. Every month based on the games they play. So if a number 1 should drop points, and number 2 gain a point, then number 2 goes back to number 1 in the subsequent game. So the rating is not something that is manipulated by any Nigerian person. It is based on international tournaments, national tournament that is submitted for rating.
Okay. I think you have a question for me?
Yeah, Prince, I have a question, and it's on a personal note, because I have a son who used to play chess. Started from King's College when he was at King's College. I used to drive him to somewhere in Bariga to go and play chess. And now he's playing basketball and flag football. So I want to ask you, what are the plans to take chess to secondary schools? Because whether you like it or not, it's an intellectual game. It's not for everybody. It's for people who are very brilliant, very cerebral.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Tunde Onakoya has proven that not to be true. We've seen area boys and just young miscreants actually play the sport.
Maybe at their level, but competitively, Prince will bear me witness. Competitively, becoming African champions and getting to the global stage. You don't need that level. I understand what Onakoya is doing, but I want to ask him, what are the plans to take chess to the secondary schools, to the primary schools? Those are the grassroots level, so that from there you have a solid foundation.
Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate that question. So what we are doing at our level is to actually push chess to the grassroots, and we believe that particular grassroots targets are in the primary school and secondary school. And from FIDE, it is also discovered that the earlier the better you have a child start playing chess, the more improved chess player the person becomes. So we are partnering with a commission of FIDE. It's called Chess in Education. And why we are partnering is we want to train the tutors that will go to schools to actually go and teach those children. They have a program called School Instructors Program. So the School Instructor Program will teach the teachers that will go to school. So at the moment, we've had like 3 different sessions, and we have about close to 80 certified school instructors in Nigeria today. Our target is actually to have about 500 certified school instructors in Nigeria who will spread the gospel around, go to private, public schools to actually do that. Secondly, we are also trying to partner with Ministry of Education in various state government and also at the federal level to see how they can actually make it to be a big curriculum. Of course, this is not something that we can do immediately, but Lagos State is ready to actually sign a memorandum of understanding with us on that. That's secondly. And the most interesting part, last year, EcoBank embraced us and said, what can we do together? And they started a big event in Nigeria called EcoBank National School Chess Championship. We held the first one May 26, 27, 28 last year. It was very massive. We have never had an event where you have over 1,200 students under one roof. It was massive. And I'm also pleased to inform you that they've approved the second edition for this year. So look forward to the second edition happening this year.
Oh, absolutely.
And based on that, now let me mention this particular point for you. Tersee, that you mentioned that is the current champion, was actually schooling, I won't say he has a very good education, but because of the fact that he emerged as the champion of Nigeria, champions in Nigeria, a school called Platform Schools, somewhere in Ipaja, actually invited him to offer him scholarship to become one of their students. Free education, free accommodation.
Wow.
That is some impact that chess is creating in Nigeria today.
Imagine, that's amazing. And speaking about impact, let's talk about the impact of probably the most high-profile chess player in Nigeria today, Guinness World Record holder Tunde Onakoya. Just how important has he been for the sport of chess in Nigeria over the last few years. And of course, interestingly, you had a very interesting cage match with him early this year, ended in a draw, and that the prize money was donated to the Nigerian champion, 17-year-old Tersee as well. But Tunde Onakoya himself, how would you describe his impact in terms of spreading the gospel of chess in Nigeria and beyond?
So Tunde Onakoya is a blessing to Nigeria chess. I must tell you, actually a blessing. He is taking the gospel beyond the border of Nigeria. He has taken his gospel to some other part of Africa, some part of Europe, some part of America. He's currently in America as we speak. In a couple of days, he's going to be doing chess in Harvard Business School. You can see the level at which he's actually. So what he's doing is actually creating the awareness that anybody and everybody can actually play chess. And he's creating awareness that chess has no limits. And chess is not about whether you are poor or you are rich, whether you are elite or you are not elite, whether you are man or woman. And he's trying to say that, you can come from nothing to something through chess, because chess is associated with intellectual people. We believe that if you actually play chess, that means you have some brain. Everybody has brain. It just depends on how you put it into use. But if you start putting into the use of, if you start putting your brain into chess or by playing chess, you will just find yourself acting the same manner, because chess will make you to plan. You don't just take an impulse decision as a chess player. You plan, you look at the decision, look at the effects, the impact of your decision, the consequences of your decision. So chess has a way of changing one's lifestyle. And that's why he has adopted chess as a social. So chess has so many ways. So he identifies and relates with people who come from nothing and try to bring them up. I was in Mokola at Ibadan with him. I see some boys who are potential threats to the environment. Conductors, a 10-year-old boy who has left home. But after bringing these guys inside a roof, talk to them, make them to learn chess over a period of time, suddenly this guy said, I want to go back home to my parents. Some of them said they want to go back to school. So these are people that would have become maybe armed robbers tomorrow.
The menace to
maybe
society.
Something else that'll be threat to the society. But he's taking them off the streets. Some of them, he enrolled them in schools, and he discovered that there are actually talent in this. The fact that they're on the street does not mean they don't have talent. They have talent, but some of them are just unfortunate to be in those circumstances. So, and that is what Tunde is using chess for. So Tunde is using chess as a tool, as a social tool, to take some boys and girls off the streets.
So, and of course, your federation is also using chess as well to continue to, empower young Nigerians, continue to spread the gospel as well in terms of educational opportunities as well. Prince Adeyinka Adewole, thank you so much for your time. It's been absolutely educative and quite entertaining listening to you.
Before I go, I would like to just mention one thing that I don't know if I can quickly chip in this.
Please.
You should look forward to a powerful event that is going to happen in Nigeria between the 1st of April to 9th of April. We are going to have an event called West African Chess Championship. It's a West African Individual Chess Championship. Last year, the person you refer to as the number 2 in Nigeria today, which is Abdurrahman, he was in Liberia competing in this same event, and he emerged as the champion. So currently we have the West African champion in Nigeria, as a Nigerian. So based on that, the zone, which is zone 4.2, we call it zone 4.2, which comprises of 12 different countries in West Africa. You have Burkina Faso, Togo,
Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire,
Cape Verde, Gambia. All of them, they will be coming to Nigeria to participate in this event. basically we want to know who is the champion, whether Nigeria can actually defend the championship or another country will emerge as the champion.
Okay, where will this be taking place? Where?
In Nigeria.
This will be taking place in Lagos.
Okay.
Lagos will be hosting it between the 1st of April to 9th of April this year.
Fantastic. We will be watching very closely. We'll be looking forward to it, and we will definitely be coming to cover that tournament as well. Hopefully, like you said, Nigeria can retain its title as the foremost chess-playing country in West Africa, Zone 4.2. Like you said, Prince Adewole Adeyinka, thank you so much for your time. It's an absolute pleasure. We will definitely be reaching out to you occasionally for more, more gospel. As you continue to spread the gospel of chess across Nigeria and beyond. Thank you so much for your time.
Invite me anytime. I'm available anytime.
Oh yes.
Thank you.
That's a standing invitation. Thank you.